I will call this special meeting of the mayor and council to order. May I have the statement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the council was provided by forwarding a copy of this special meeting notice to the Madison Eagle on April the 28th, 2020, filing a copy with the Daily Record and the Star Ledger, posting a copy on the bulletin board at the main entrance of the Hartley Dodge Memorial, and filing a copy in the office of the clerk. Copies of said notice were made available to members of the general public.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Conley,
Here.
Mrs. Vitale. There we go. Okay. Miss Bailey, we know.
Here.
No.
Miss Byrne,
Yes.
Mr. Hoover. I don't believe he's here. Ms. Cohen
Here.
and Miss Ehrlich.
She is absence excused. She may join later, but we're not sure whether she'll be able to make it with the conflict. And just for the record, don't know if the public heard, Carmela Vitale, John Hoover are both here and visible. Agenda review, we are covering just one agenda item as advertised, and this is to change the resolution related to the extension of second quarter property taxes. And I will tee off the discussion. I just realized I printed out the wrong agenda, so I don't have the title, the resolution title in front of me, but we'll pull it up in a second. Anyway, so as everyone knows, that this council took action as part of our toolkit back in March, as we were in the early days of the crisis and making sure that we could respond to families and residents in need by extending or reducing the interest on property taxes for the second quarter so it would have been from May 1st to July 31st. For any amounts $10,000 or less, we reduced the interest to 0%. And speaking shall receive, so I now have the resolution in front of me. So at that time, again, we had reduced the interest to 0% with the intent of helping any families in need, help with them making ends meet. The Governor Murphy passed or signed Executive Order 130, which deemed that resolution null and void. It made permissive language that allowed municipalities to extend the due date for property taxes to June 1st. It also stated, as in most of the executive orders and wisely, that municipalities could not go beyond the order. So it meant our action that was taken was no longer valid. And in order to try to meet the needs of our residents and states to our toolkit, we have a special meeting so we can pass this resolution, which will extend the due date to June 1st. Any residents that are listening in or may see this later, it is very important. This is to follow the state guidelines. If you fail to pay your second quarter taxes by June 1st, the borough has to calculate the interest going back to May 1st. So please, if you do take advantage of this time, get your property tax payment in by June 1st, because we certainly do not want to add to the burden that you may already be facing. Our CFO is on and available for council for any questions, but certainly as we discussed when we went to the zero principal interest rate, that we felt we would be able to meet the obligation of the borough to pass on payments to the Board of Education and to the county. Close to 80 cents on every dollar goes out, about 60 cents or 63 cents to the Board of Education and 17 cents to the county. And so we still have to make those payments in a timely manner. Jim, anything to add?
Sure, Mayor. So we did a poll. A poll was done of most towns, and many administrators have responded that a lot of other towns are going to take the state up on this. So over 50% are going to take the action that we're taking today. The town has a quarterly collection of about $17.8 million in bills that are outstanding. Of that, we've received 60%, which is in line a little bit below what we've collected in prior years. We have done an analysis going back 4 years. In 2018, it was significantly inflated because at the end of 2017, a number of residents prepaid 2018 taxes because they want to take advantage of the deductibility on their property, of their property taxes on their income tax forms that they were submitting in 2018. But council knows, we've briefed council on it, but we are tracking the collection percentage on a daily basis. And as I said, that collection percentage is in line. About 40% of the taxes we receive come from two agencies that act as aggregators for mortgage payments and escrowed taxes that are escrowed through mortgage payments. We received the larger of the two yesterday. We received the smaller of the two a few days ago. So we received 1,436 payments last night on property taxes to the tune of about $4.8 million. We have about 4,900 properties that get taxed. So there's we're in good shape on a collection standpoint, and on a cash flow standpoint, we should not have an issue taking care of our obligations this quarter. We have a number of cash flow measures in place that will be able to take advantage of. We have a $2.5 million county payment that needs to be made on May 15th, and we have about a $3.5 million payment to the Board of Education that needs to be made on May 15th. That $3.5 million is a monthly payment that is paid to the Board of Education. But given our tax collection, what we had in surplus and alike, we should be able to have no problem with cash flows. Revenue collections are down, but we'll be able to satisfy our obligations.
Yep, Carmela?
Yeah, Jim, I'm just wondering if there's, some confusion because, we did, when the mayor came out with the toolkit, everybody was reading what was going to happen in the borough. Do you think there's a little bit of confusion? I mean, there's still a lot of people that are paying their own taxes and thought, well, today is May 1st, but I still have 15 days and then I'm not going to get penalized and whatever. What are we going to do about getting this new information out to those particular people? I think it's also important to give really good instructions, like how they should pay. Excuse me, I thought I turned that sucker off.
Carmela, that's a great question.
But I think that, we need to let them know. How are they going to pay the taxes?
Yeah.
Because
great question. So we've had a significant number of people pay already. We're going to craft a letter that's going to be mailed out, but we're only going to have to mail it out to probably 800 to 1,000 property taxpayers. We'll
Right.
wait until the 4th or the 5th to determine who has not paid, and then we'll remind them, hey, you may have received a letter or be not known that the council took this action. However, the prior letter and the prior actions rescinded, and explain exactly what the mayor said. You really need to make every effort to pay before June 1st. If you pay after June 1st, and when I say pay, that doesn't mean it's postmarked by June 1st. That means it has to be in our possession. So don't delay or assume that the post office is going to get it here on time. We have to charge back interest, and when we do that, interest goes all the way back to May 1st. It's statutory. That's the way the statute is
not
written.
a good amount.
So we'll send letters out to everybody that hasn't paid, just so they know.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it would be good just to put like a return envelope back to Hartley Dodge to encourage people just to put it in the mail. I know it's a little extra,
Yep.
whatever. But I'm just thinking what would be easier if somebody sees a return envelope, and it's paid. Guess what? They'll stick the check in the mail.
We'll look into that.
I have to congratulate the people that live in this town that have gotten, have paid their taxes. I mean, the mortgage company is a big portion of it, but you know what? There's a lot of residents that said, hey, listen, I'm going to do for the town that I live in. And I think that's pretty admirable. So I think they're, people who live here are doing a good job taking care of their own town. So I like that. Yeah.
Maureen, you had your hand up.
I did, and then Jim said we'd sent out a letter to all the people that had not sent their checks in. So thank you very much, and I'll mute myself.
Any other questions or comments?
Yep.
Let me call up Resolution 133-2020, resolution of the Borough of Madison rescinding Resolution 100-2020 and changing the grace period for second quarter real property taxes to June 1st, 2020.
I'll move it.
Second.
Do I have any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Miss Bailey?
Yes.
Miss Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Give a thumbs up.
Yeah, he gave a thumbs up. Yeah, I guess we have a little audio problem there.
And Miss Cohen?
Yes.
All right.
Mayor, you're muted.
Oops. I think, all right, there we go. If you could read my lips, it's time to unmute the mayor. And the host and I unmuted myself at the same time, so I got remuted. It's still. So we're now on to public comment. This is when I open the meeting to comment on any topic, not just the agenda item today. There will be, if you're online and you want to comment, please raise your hand by clicking the hand. If you are on the phone, you can be recognized by hitting *9. And note, for security reasons, we cannot recognize anyone listed as anonymous or a call that does not have a phone number identified. When you are recognized and unmuted, you must state your name and address before starting any comments. Failure to do so may result in you being muted or disconnected. Please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, but as always, we'll allow a 1 minute grace period. We will give you a warning and you will be stopped at 4. And if you have any questions, as we always do, we will capture those questions and answer them after your comments so we don't take away from your time. Are there any members of the public wishing to be heard? Okay. I'm assuming,
Mayor.
no comments?
No comments.
Okay. Thank you. I hereby close this part of the meeting. And with Rachel not here, I look towards Deb.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. And John did give a thumbs up with his audio issues there. And so everyone take care. Be well.
Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend.